What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Justin Almeida here on YouTube and for Beat Time Takes. We're back again with another video, and this is the end of the year video that I do every single year. This year, we are going to have another top 10 moments video for 2024, but this time is just strictly 2024. Last year, we did the top 5 games I've ever been to for each of the 4 Boston sports teams, but this year, we are doing the best videos slash moments of 2024 that was on this channel here. I am super excited to make this video. I cannot wait to give you guys my top 10 from this past year. There's been a ton of great memories on this channel here for 2024. This is probably going down as the best year ever on this channel. This was a year for this channel that will never be forgotten forever. You guys have a ton of memories from 2024, and I was super honored and thrilled to be able to give you guys the experience from this year that I had. Like, this was honestly the best year of my life. I think I can safely say that. Even over 2018, like where the Red Sox made history, won the World Series and everything else. There's obviously one big thing that made the difference in terms of this year being the best year ever in my life as opposed to that year, but we're gonna get into that and we're gonna hop straight into the top 10 moments of 2024. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these videos here. Subscribe now if you guys know what to do. Go check out our website. The link is in the description down below. And without further ado, let's hop straight into number 10. Okay, so obviously you guys know there's probably gonna be one team that's gonna be talked about a lot in this video because obviously, as you guys know, the Celtics won a championship, alright? And we were basically there for the entire run. And we had a lot of stuff happen in terms of the Boston Celtics. So obviously, there's going to be a ton of Boston Celtics memories from this past year because, like, hey, we were basically front dead center of the whole entire 2024 championship run. So obviously, there's going to be a lot of Celtics memories in this video here. But we're not starting off with the Celtics. We're starting off with the New England Patriots. Yeah, the Patriots are making the cut here. Wow. Absolute shocker. At number 10, I got the Patriots versus Dolphins VIP game at Gillette Stadium. You guys remember when we went to go to the Lighthouse Lounge because I was gifted passes to go into this lounge, like this, basically this private suite for season ticket holders where it's free food. You have your own private bar, you have your own private bathroom, you have your own private standing room. You are pretty much separated from the entire fan base and you have like your own experience. Like, I love going down to the 100s level, but like this right here, this experience that I had for this Patriots game, it felt like something that like I could never imagine doing. This was a memory forever for me and for my buddy Steven. Steven is the bigger Patriot fan than I am, so that is definitely something that he can talk about for a long time. Again, we had steak for lunch for free at a Patriots game. Now think about that for a second. That just goes to show how phenomenal this experience was. The VIP experience was phenomenal, but the game itself, however, was not a good one to remember. Patriots lost that game 15-10. Ramondre Stevenson had the only touchdown for the New England Patriots in this game. It wasn't really a scoring breakout game. Jacoby Brissett was the starter before Drake May took over the next week. But this game, I think we can safely say that the experience that we had definitely outweighed the game itself. And that is why it cracks number 10 of the list for memories of 2024. Now, coming in at the number 9 spot, we're not talking about the Celtics yet. Yeah, no, guys, we are not talking about the Boston Celtics yet. Trust me, it's getting there. It is going to get there at some point in this video. And then pretty much after that, once it gets beginning with the Celtics, then it's pretty much Celtics non-stop. I'll disclaim it right now. There was no Red Sox moments in this list here. But coming in at number 8, we have the Bruins versus the Leafs. Game 1, round 1 of the NHL playoffs. It was a very great game. I actually contemplated of not going to this game because, like, I knew that the Bruins were not really cup contenders, especially the year after Patrice Bergeron and David Krejci retired. They had the phenomenal season where they broke the points record and the wins record, and they fell short there. I kind of figured, like, hey, they're going to disappoint me again. But safely to say, I think it was still the right call to pull the trigger to go to this game. The Bruins blew out the Toronto Maple Leafs on the final score of 5-1. Swayman played phenomenal. Jake DeBrusk scored 2 goals. Obviously, you guys know I love Jake DeBrusk over here on this channel. It's always going to be DeBrusk over Barzal. You know the vibes. I also met somebody very cool at this game that I still talk to this day. And I miss this person. I hope they're doing well. They were just at Tampa Bay visiting the Lightning's arena and the Buccaneers Stadium. And they had a blast. And I can't wait to see her come back to Boston very soon for a Bruins game. And obviously, Leafs, Bruins. You obviously know that this game is going to be entertaining because these two teams are a rival. The Bruins ended up winning the series in 7 games. I did not go to Game 7 because they've disappointed me in the past and everything else. But the Bruins had a phenomenal start to the playoffs. And listen, even though like we weren't cup contenders or anything like that, this was our Stanley Cup for this year. Because obviously Florida was just a wagon, and we kind of knew going into it that the Bruins were not going to beat Florida. They were just the by far better team than the Bruins were. And this was the only thing that really mattered. This was the only thing that I really wanted to see the Bruins do, was to squeak out a win in the postseason. And they did that. They won a series against the Maple Leafs. We love to see that. Beating the Maple Leafs in the playoffs, we always love to see it. And that's why it cracks number 9 on this list. Coming in at number 8 on the list is a very unusual video. It is a compilation video. Yes, a compilation video. This is not just vlogs that I'm putting on this list. It's giveaways. It's all the videos that I've made as a collective in the year of 2024. And at number 8 on this list is Bree's compilation that I made. The best and funniest Bree moments from this channel. Now, originally, this was not my idea to make this video. I cannot take credit for the idea. This was all Bree's idea. She wanted me to do this video. She said, hey, is there any chance by the end of the year you can do a compilation video of my best moments and funniest moments or whatever? And she said that I could put it from my channel and everything else. And I was like, absolutely, I can do it for you. No questions asked. It took me a long time to do this video. Like, let's say, for example, if I worked on this 24/7, it probably would have took me a good 4 or 5 days, up to a week, in order for me to get this video done. That's how much time, effort, and patience that I had to edit this video. There's a lot of funny moments. You guys absolutely love the video. You guys love the idea and everything else. I cannot take the credit. It is credit to Bree and everything else. It was a funny video. It was a very phenomenal time editing up this video, where I could look back from the beginning of the journey, where you guys were going into a comment section, hashtag Bree on Beantown Taste to get her onto the podcast, to now where I'm talking to her off camera. She's one of my closest friends. We're hanging out at every single game, going out after the games, so on and so forth. And like, it's just been an absolute blur. Seeing that journey, seeing how it actually turned out, it turned out a lot better than I could have imagined it. Obviously, as you see in the background too, if you guys have been really following my channel, we've been playing Black Ops 6, and Bree's been coming on to play some Black Ops as of recently. As a matter of fact, once I am done recording this video here, I'm hopping on to Black Ops 6 to play with her off cam. So, very cool video to make. The Bree compilation falls at number 8 on the list. Alrighty, here we go. Now we're kind of getting on to the Celtics things, and this is not a game that I am mentioning yet. But at number 7, though, I got the Jason Tatum giveaway from Jumpman23 and Jason Tatum himself, the JT3s. Yes, when Jason Tatum and Jumpman23 gifted me these bad boys here, the JT3s. They gave me the JT3s along with a note here saying, Jesse, banner 18, check. Tatum 3, check. From Jumpman23. And then they gave me a frame with one of my tweets that they saw on there as well, which led to the gift of the JT3s. Listen, anytime you're getting a gift from your favorite player, arguably of all time, that's going to crack your list for the best moments of the year. You already know this. And I don't really feel like I have to explain much as to why this is on this list. Obviously, you guys would be freaking out too if you guys were getting free shoes from Jason Tatum and Jumpman23. Who wouldn't? Jason Tatum is a very phenomenal guy. He's a humble dude at only 23, at only 19, forever 19. And JT's shoe giveaway, that video there, falls number 7 on the list. Here we go. Now at number 6, we are starting to get onto the games that we went to go see for the Boston Celtics. And I'll just spoil it right now. The list that I have on this paper right here, don't mind the rip right there, are Celtics games. They are mostly Celtics games. Falling in at number 6, just shy out of the top 5 spot, is the Knicks versus Celtics in New York City. That was more of like a New York City vlog. We went to go see the 9/11 monument. We went to go see Times Square, Rockefeller Center, the NBA and MLB store. And then on top of that, we got tickets to go see the Knicks and the Celtics at Madison Square Garden once again. And going to this game did not disappoint. Anytime that I'm going to a game outside of TD Garden, I don't care how they play. All I care about is if they win, and that's all that matters. The final score of this game, the Celtics won 116-102. And not only did the Boston Celtics win this game, but there was something unexpected that happened in this game also. So, obviously, as you guys know, I bought those tickets probably 2 months in advance, somewhere around there. And we just so happened to be sitting right behind Peyton Pritchard's fiance at the time, Emma, and we got to sit behind Sam Hauser's wife, Mary, who just had a kid. Congratulations to both of them, Sam Hauser and Mary Hauser. Congrats to both of them. And also congrats to Emma and Peyton Pritchard for just getting married this past summer also. It was very fun watching the game with them, basically hanging out with them. Like, during the game, I let them have their space, obviously, because, like, they're there to watch their fiance or husband play. When timeouts were called and when it was halftime, they were so cool. We got to speak to them. We got to talk to them for a little while, and it was so cool getting to know them off cam. Even got a picture with them, too. That was super cool. Very fun trip. This was arguably better than the first time we went to Madison Square Garden. Obviously, the first time we went to Madison Square Garden, at that time, the Celtics made history in the NBA and in franchise history. So, the only way that this trip here could have topped that trip was if something bizarre happened. And let's just say, meeting Emma and Mary, yeah, that was kind of insane because, like, it was unplanned. It was insane. New York Knicks versus Celtics in Madison Square Garden. Just shy out of the top 5. The only reason why it's not making the top 5 list is because how does this beat these next 5 moments from 2024? Alrighty, we're going to take a little bit of a quick break here because we are halfway through this video here. So if you guys have not done so already and you guys are enjoying the video so far, make sure you leave a like on the video and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are ready for 2025 and you are ready for what this channel is going to be bringing in the next coming year. And for number 5, I think is kind of obvious, but like you're still gonna think like, it's only number 5, and that's game 1 of the NBA Finals, Dallas versus Boston. Obviously, you guys know, NBA Finals, the first game, that's always gonna have some sort of aura around yourself, like the energy at least. Everybody's excited for the NBA Finals. It's the start of the home stretch of seeing who's gonna win that Larry O'Brien trophy, seeing who is going to be raising a banner in the next upcoming season. This is basically for all the bragging rights for the next year, basically, up until basically the playoffs. And this game here is known as the Kristaps Porzingis game. KP came back from injury in this game, and he lit it up in the first quarter. And after he lit it up in the first quarter, the Celtics never really looked back after that. There was a point in time where the Dallas Mavericks went on a run in the third, but the Celtics pulled their way back in the third and stretched the game out by winning by 18 points in this game, 107-89. And Jaylen Brown also went off in this game with 22, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, The first game, the Celtics were off for a while. Obviously, they were not going to look as fresh as they were in the previous series because they were, I believe, off for like 10 days, somewhere around there. And it was a long break for them. So for them to come off the gate with a win, looking somewhat rusty, besides Kristaps Porzingis, was a great sight to see. And it was only up from there because it's like, oh man, the Celtics didn't really shoot the ball as great as we would think. What can they do when they do shoot great? And that was basically the moral of the story from game 1. And then game 2, we came in, took care of business. I was in the building for that one also. And once the series was up 2-0, Celtics fans kind of had the thought in their head like, oh, there's no way we're losing this series. There's absolutely no way. The momentum is all on our side. All we need to do is steal one in Dallas, and the NBA championship is ours. And that was also the moral of the story for the entire postseason. Setting the tone early, getting the win, setting momentum to your side early in the series, and that's what the Celtics did in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And for number 4, they did the same thing in a different series as well. So for number 4 on the list, and oh my god, this could really pretty much championship vibes. So this is like the only game here where you could say, oh man, you could really debate this in the top 3. And that is game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Indiana Pacers. Now, this game here, Ben went to the game with me, and we still talk about it to this day. And we still don't understand how the hell the Celtics won this game. Because if you remember this game correctly, the Celtics, in the final like 20 seconds of the game, were down by 3. JT just missed a 2, and they had to foul Tyrese Halliburton. So you think it was going to be a free throw game from here on out. But after they fouled Tyrese Halliburton, it was the first foul in the final 2 minutes. They had to inbound the ball, and they turned the ball over, and that led to the famous JB corner 3 that tied the game up and brought them to overtime. And then in overtime, it was JT, and he took over into the overtime, handing the Celtics the win, 133-128 in this one, which set the tone again. As I said in number 5, that was the motto of the playoffs, setting the tone, putting the pressure on the other team early, and coming out strong with a win in the first game of the series. And the Celtics did that in this one by stealing a game from the Indiana Pacers' heart. Dagger before the series was even concluded. Like, this was the game here where people go back and they say, man, Indiana really choked the game away here. They had this game in the bag to steal a game in Boston, and they could not close the deal. It was choke after choke after choke. But you know who didn't choke? The Boston Celtics did not choke. They came up clutch. It was a Drew Holiday legacy game also. It was his best game ever as a Celtic. And this is ultimately one of the biggest reasons as to why the result for the Celtics even happened. Because let's say the Celtics lose this game here. Now, Indiana steals a game in Boston. They're up 1-0. They have no pressure in game 2. So if they win game 2, it's not looking too good for the Celtics. The fact that the Celtics were able to steal that game away, and the way they did, I don't want to say it ended this series, but damn, it made the series a lot harder for the Indiana Pacers to win. And being in that arena, I thought that that was going to be like a 40K view video. It didn't, unfortunately, but it was still one of the best games I ever went to. And that is why it cracks number 4 on the list. And number 3, this is now the championship vibes. And obviously, you probably know what the top 3 are. So it doesn't really even matter where these go in terms of the list. But I think it's safe to say, I think I have these at the right spot for the top 3 on the list. Coming in at number 3 on the list, I have the Celtics Championship Parade. This was a moment that I have been waiting on for the last 2 years after I almost passed away from my Crohn's disease that turned into a very, very bad situation. That was the only thing that I really wanted after coming out of surgery, and it was the moment that I was waiting on for 2 years. I got to hang out with my crew. We ended up moving my spot because I was like 4 people deep. Pause. I was 4 people back in the row, and then I decided, hey, let's move, find maybe a front row spot, and I found that on Boylston Street, where we had a phenomenal view of the parade. It was a phenomenal day. Ended up going out to drink with my cousin. I ended up bumping into her and her boyfriend, and they basically made it my day, because after I bumped into them, they asked me if I wanted to go for a drink. Then we ended up going bar hopping, and there was a live stream that I ended up doing at one of the bars, and like, we got turned up. We absolutely got litty. We absolutely got litty that day, and it was well worth it, and I was just enjoying myself. It was a fantastic day. It was a day that I will never forget, and I got to share that with one of my family members too, and like, that makes it so much better, and that's why it cracks number 3 on the list, and number 2 now will be Banner Night. And number 2, we got to go to Banner Night for the Boston Celtics, aka the home opener for the 2024-2025 NBA season, where the Celtics played the New York Knicks. Now, obviously, as you guys know, in terms of the game, we're not really going to talk about the game as much, because this was more than the game here. We did not have to really talk about the game as much, because we were here to see the banner raised at TD Garden. Banner number 18 was home. It was in its rightful spot, up in the rafters. Celtics got their championship rings, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, not only did the Celtics get a championship ring, but I also have my very own replica championship ring right here. As you guys can see, it is very beautiful, and it also has my last name on the side here also. They had the ring ceremony, the banner raising, and the game was really freaking good. Tatum was so close to getting 40 points, and he had a game to remember on one of the biggest nights in Celtics history. He had 37 points on 10 assists, 4 rebounds, and the Celtics, for the second time on this channel, made history in terms of 3-pointers made in a single game in franchise history. They had 29 threes. It was the most ever in franchise history, breaking their previous 27 3-pointers made on November 5th, 2022 at Madison Square Garden, where we were at that game also. Celtics got the win on a blowout against the New York Knicks. We love to see it. We hate New York over here. It's F New York. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me put the ring back on real quick, because I had a size for the middle finger. It's F New York till the day we die. It was a day to remember, and that leads to number 1. And if you guys couldn't put 2 and 2 together right now as to what number 1 is, it's very simple, I think. I think it's very simple as to what the number 1 spot is for 2024. And coming in at the number 1 spot is Game 5 of the NBA Finals, where the Celtics clinched Banner 18. They won it all on a home floor. I was there in the building. Unfortunately, it is not the way I planned to be in the building. I really wanted to get the best seat in the house, but obviously ticket prices were so high for this game that it was the most expensive sporting event in Boston sports history. So there was no real way around it. I had to make the best of my situation. I could have sat Loge for a certain price, and people that were close to my corner, like my dad and everyone else, they said that I should spend the money on a Loge box ticket or whatever. But like, I tried thinking in my head, like, hey, if they lose this game, they lose game 6, you got to find a way to be at game 7 some way, somehow, right? So I sat in the balcony, or I thought I was sitting in the balcony, and obviously it turned into a standing room only ticket, but it doesn't matter. The vibes in this game were like none other. Jason Tatum went off in the biggest game of his life. He had a phenomenal game. He went off for 31 points with 11 assists and 8 rebounds in this game. Jaylen Brown also had 21 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in this game. And the Celtics got the win on a final score of 106-88, winning the series 4-1 and clinching Banner 18, becoming the 2024 NBA World Champions for the 18th time in their franchise history. Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP, and rightfully so. He was the most consistent player in the entire postseason, and even in the finals too. It was great to see Jaylen Brown win the Finals MVP, especially with all the hate that he was getting from years in the past, especially the hate that he was getting after Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final against Miami in 2023. It was a phenomenal season for the Boston Celtics, and the fact that I was in the building too for that moment, it was the cherry on the top to the year, and that is why 2024 was the best year of my life. I got to see my favorite team win the championship in person at the Garden. It was just, I still don't have words to describe the feeling of what it was like to be in the Garden for that specific moment, seeing all the confetti blowing up in the air after the Celtics won Banner 18. Winning the NBA championship was like no other. It was something that was out of a video game, out of a dream. 2 years ago, I almost passed away from Crohn's. And one of the things that my doctor asked me was, what was my goals coming out of surgery? Obviously, I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to be in the best shape of my life. I wanted to not have to worry about eating anymore or anything else, or like losing weight or so on and so forth. I wanted a normal life, and I said to him, I gotta be honest with you too, I want to see the Celtics win the championship because I have a feeling that it's going to happen. It didn't happen that year. I only had to wait 2 years for that moment, but it was well worth the wait, and it was something that I will never, ever forget. And obviously, for you guys also, you guys got to see that angle too of what it was like to be inside the Garden for that specific moment, and it was a dream come true. And that's going to do it for this video here. My top 10 best moments of 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys agreed with my list. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree with the list? Do you guys think I should tweak it up a little bit? What did I miss that should be on here? What did I put on this list that should not be on here? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these videos. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. The link is in the description down below. Thank you guys for all of the love and support that you guys showed to me in 2024. We're only going up from here. 3K is very, very soon on this channel here. Thank you guys for watching this video here. It's been your boy Jesse, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.